If you're on the run, or just staying home, if you're with some friends, or just all alone, have a cup of coffee or tea, if you please, and listen to me today on Cardio Coombs Cafe. And we're live. Hey there, you're listening to Cardio Coombs Cafe podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Coombs, and this is episode 7 of season 2. Here I am with my beautiful, amazing, incredible, intelligent, wonderful wife, Laura Vardy. And how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Everybody's having a happy spring, weather depending. I know we had a big storm the other day.
Yeah, our weather is really messed up here in Newfoundland. For those of you who don't live here, maybe if you live in Atlantic Canada or along the northeastern part of the U.S., you have similar weather, I'm thinking. But yeah, it's pretty crazy here. Like, we were having all week long, anywhere from 10 to 13 degrees Celsius, which may or may not sound that warm to you depending where you live, but it's pretty warm here. Like, sometimes in our summers, that might be as warm as it gets. So yeah, like, all the snow was melting and everything was getting slushy and gross, but at least it was, didn't really have to wear winter's clothing. And then we have a big snowstorm yesterday.
Day before, I think it was.
Day before, and now it's like back below 0 degrees Celsius, so.
Enough to break the snowblower.
Happy spring! Yes, and our snowblower broke. It's currently being repaired, possibly, hopefully. But let's hope we won't need it much more, or any more this year. Maybe like once or one more time, maybe. I don't know.
One day you're wearing just your hoodie and almost shorts, and the next day you're wearing your winter get-up. Your cardigan. Mm-hmm. Your raglan. I don't know what I'm saying.
What's that raglan?
Jacket.
Learn something new every day.
What have you been doing lately? Have you been going on many walks with me?
Why, yes, I've been going on many walks, usually with Aaron.
Yeah.
And our baby, Kalani, of course.
Here's a picture of her. Of Podcast Magic. Our baby Kalani.
And it's been really great walking with her. Like, it motivates me more to get out and walk, because I'm not big on going out for walks when it's not summer, or when it's too hot or it's too cold. But I'm a bit more motivated with her because, I think it's nice and it's healthy to get her out and get her fresh air and in the sunshine when we have it, which is becoming more often now, and just seeing and listening to things outside and that sort of thing. That's good for all of us, but I like to see her, especially she's more alert now that she's like 4.5 months old, almost 5 months old. So she's kind of going around sometimes with her eyes open when we're walking. So that's kind of nice too. And she seems to enjoy it. Like, she doesn't usually get fussy and cry when we're out.
Well, today she got a little fussy. I guess she was hungry though. And
well, I think tired, because then she fell asleep during the walk. Which
the biggest choice we have during our walks is either we take the stroller or the carrier, and that depends on the trail that we usually take is pretty slushy, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
So we took the carrier, and you can see her going on the side of it, trying to chew on it. So I'll show a little picture of that.
Yeah, I think maybe she's starting to teeth because she's like chewing on everything and drooling a lot, and sometimes she's fussy and then she chews on something and she seems to be a bit better, so yay.
Other than walking, what have you been doing, and how is motherhood?
Well, motherhood is pretty great. I can't complain much, but I can complain a little. Complain a little. No, I feel bad even complaining, but I guess it's wonderful, and it's also challenging. Like, when you read those baby books, you just think, okay, great, this is going to be helpful. And then the stuff in the books that you're told should be happening with your baby or you should be doing, it's like not working for you, and then you feel like shit. But when I talk to my mom friends, like for example, the biggest stress lately, it's getting better, but it
the
was
husband. No.
well, sometimes, but sleep. So there's, you know, places where she's supposed to sleep and where she's not supposed to sleep. Like, you're not supposed to sleep in the car seat or the swing or in your arms at this point. She's supposed to sleep like in a bassinet or a crib, but then you put her down there and she just cries, and you're like, well, the other way is easier, you know? And at least sometimes. But I've learned that you talk to your mom friends, and it helps because everybody else is saying, well, my baby, you know, slept in the bed with us, or until they were like 5 years old or something, or, you know, my baby doesn't sleep through the night either, and different things. So you can relate, and you realize that nobody has a perfect baby. As great as ours is.
Kalani, if you're watching this, you are the perfect baby. All right, go on.
I just imagine her watching this like years down the road. What did you mean? I love you, baby. But yeah, I was stressing a lot up until recently, and still sometimes over like getting her down to sleep, to get enough sleep, the naps and all that stuff. And
I guess COVID also plays a big part on what you can actually do with your child outside and out and about.
Yeah, that's definitely made things more difficult. Like, we had a period of lockdown that we just came out of a couple of weeks ago, and basically I wasn't supposed to interact with anyone else, just one other household. So that happened to be with my mom. But she lives a few hours away, so I went there, she came here. And there was still a period of time where Aaron was away at work, so that just made it so much more challenging, right?
There is only a couple of cases now, though. If there's just one, was there?
Yeah, there's one new case today, 2 in total in the whole province. And yeah, only 2 new cases. I think this was like in the past 10 days. These cases came about. So it is pretty good. And we've moved into level 2 as of yesterday.
Yep. And
Saturday.
Saturday. We're recording this on Sunday, but
yeah,
this podcast will be out on Monday.
Okay, so
confused.
Saturday.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, for those of you who aren't following the news, those of you who live under a rock or don't live in the province, basically, you know, with level 2, some other things are opening. Like pretty much all stores and restaurants are open now at 50% capacity, so you can dine in at restaurants. Gyms are open. The thing, you're allowed to have 20 close contacts now. They're calling it the steady 20. So a household is allowed to have 20 close contacts, up to 20 close contacts. So that's something new. And I guess the thing that I'm really looking forward to is group fitness classes are starting up again this week at the YMCA where I go. So that's great because I know I could work out at home. I could work out outside. I could go work at a gym even by myself at this point, but I don't, besides going for walks, because I really don't like it. I like the group classes, like Zumba, yoga,
Zumba, yoga, squash.
Squash, that's not a class, but that's like with someone else. I love squash, but yeah, so I'm gonna get to do those things this week. But yeah, like, I need other people to be involved or I just won't do it. So like, the more people that are there judging me while I work out, the harder I push myself. So that's why I like working out or doing something on my own just doesn't work. So
I've been working out lately. Can you tell, babe? I'm on my second week. There's only 3 weeks, and before I go back to work, and the very last one is Sunday. And today
so
was
1 week left.
1 week left to lose all those pounds. I gotta win. Oh, let me interject again. Interject myself. We're also having a bet, my sister and I, on Mom Bod or Dad Bod, due April the 5th. Vote on the original Facebook page under the video. You can win the Mindset book. And should I talk more about fitness to put a video on? Should we?
Sure, but first tell me a bit about that book. Like, what is it about? I mean, obviously it's about your mindset.
It's about parenting, business, school, relationships, and more. It's a good book for whose advice you can believe in. A good book and whose advice to follow. I'm only on chapter 1.
What have you learned so far in chapter 1? Why did you think this would be a good giveaway?
I believe it was my sister's idea, Andrea. And
okay, she's read it?
She's reading it, yes. And I wanted to get the hardcover book to give away, but I myself am doing the audio book on Audible. This is not brought to you by Audible, but I like reading it. And the best part about Audible is you can close your eyes and read, eh? I always used to
or drive your car.
Back when we did travel, that was one thing I did when I was laying down, having a drink in the sun, listening to a book while my lovely wife wrote in her journal.
Yes, I've never got into audiobooks. I have a couple that I'm wanting to read but really that's only because I couldn't get the hard copy.
Well, that baby book, What Do You Expect When You're Expecting? That's the one I got on Audible and you were reading it.
Are you listening to it, though, is the question.
Yes, but the first chapter's like, that's not me. And a lot of it's like American stuff and what it's going to pay and stuff. I was like, fast forward. And then I was like, she will be irritable in this time and this time. I'm like, okay. So it does help with that, yeah.
You can kind of, basically, that's what to expect when you're expecting.
Yeah,
like
that's the first one I had.
Not years. That was months ago.
It was so long ago. Our baby's only 4 months and a bit. That was years ago.
Now you have to move on to, like I did, what to expect during the first year. So you can be stressed out like me and feel like a shitty parent when things don't go as they say they should.
And you don't always have to go by the book.
But no, it is still a helpful book in a way.
And speaking of books, what have you been reading lately? Have you?
Well, yes, that's the other thing. I've been doing a lot of reading. So I like the self-help stuff, but what I've gotten into now lately, as you know, and you think is really weird.
Oh, like
or scary.
Killer stuff and horror stuff?
It is, like murder books. Like almost every book I read has to be about murder for me to enjoy it now. So he thinks that's like pretty strange, pretty twisted. I think he's a little scared.
My audiobooks are about mindset, and the other one was about minimalist and how to cut down on your clutter and stuff. And
that's good, but it's not working.
I know. We were driving.
But we need that.
I had on the stereo in the car one time, and we were driving. And it's like, you have to get rid of this, this, and this. You're like, no, I can't do it.
We're almost hoarders, but I try. I
love my gadgets.
Selling a lot of things, but Aaron's pretty bad. But anyways, the books, as I was trying to say before I went off on that tangent, is Kathy Reich's Temperance Brennan Bones books. So if that sounds familiar and you haven't read the books, it's probably because the TV series Bones was produced by this author and based on the character in these books. So there's some similarities. I haven't watched the show Bones, surprisingly, but there are different things. Like I don't think I could watch the show now because there's like a different love interest, and
is that the same guy who played Angel in Buffy, I believe?
Yeah, but he's not
a vampire.
He's not in the books. Like that guy Booth, is it, or something? Detective Booth? I don't know. Like I've kind of maybe watched a little bit of Bones, but I think it's probably different. But yeah, the books are awesome. It's nothing new. Like the book I'm reading now, Crossbones, was written in 2005. But the latest book, the newest one, did come out last year, 2020, and I read that, Conspiracy of Bones. So Bones, or something death-related, is often the title. And it follows the story of a forensic anthropologist. So, of course, you know, someone dies in a gruesome way. They can't identify the person or how they died, maybe. She gets involved, examining the bones, basically. So if you are into that, like forensics, crime, murder books, bones, police, crime drama stuff, thriller, mystery, yeah, it's I definitely recommend the books. So I'm on the 8th book of the series now, and my goal is to read all 19 of them.
And that's only been 2 days you read those. No, I was kidding.
Well, I've been going through them pretty fast, pretty quickly. Like when I get a free time in the evening, sometimes I like to read, but then I feel bad, like because then I'm not spending time with you. But it's pretty good when you're
Or the baby. There's
when
laundry.
you're well, she's asleep usually in the evenings, which is good. But yeah, it's great when you're not home. I'm just like here by myself and nothing else to do, and when the baby's sleeping.
There's something you can do. You can always enjoy a cup of Cardio Coombs Cafe, home roasted blends. Here's a short commercial break. Click on the top right of our site. Then you will find Home Roasted Coffee. Go on that link and let us know what type of coffee you wish to have. Simply fill up the form on the bottom with the name, email, and message, and press send. Thank you. And we're back.
I thought you were gonna say there's something you could do. You could clean the house.
Me? Oh, you thought I was gonna be
Do
saucy
some
to
laundry.
you? Oh, I wouldn't say that to my wife. No. I do a lot of laundry down here. You do a lot of folding, and I walk the baby, and I dance to Justin Bieber with the baby because her new favorite song now is what is it?
Peaches by Justin Bieber.
Some bad words in there, but she likes it.
I think that's your new favorite song, so you're saying that she likes it.
No, it gets her to sleep. There's that one, and then right after that, the 2 songs, if she doesn't fall asleep by then, there's a problem. It's the other one is
Okay. So you can continue to put her to sleep.
Bruno Mars. Leave the door open. What are you doing? Shuffling.
Sorry,
Oh,
I need
activities.
some notes.
We got some notes here. We can't go off the cuff.
Yeah, anyways,
We're gonna talk about movies and shows.
whatever the songs are, but you know, she also really likes, and this is so cute, right? What is it?
This is so cute. You should hear this.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. She can't clap her hands yet, but I'm hopeful because her cousin Isabella, who's only a month older, can clap her hands. I learned yesterday. So.
She loves also
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Yeah, basically songs with actions to them,
with a good bop.
and most songs in general. But those ones she kind of like has a laugh at you,
And lately I've been making small concerts in the living room, put on the wireless microphone and the guitar and singing and dancing for her. Some hard rock like Oh McDonald and This Old Man, you know?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's what's going to be up for the new Trout Fest. Hopefully if COVID stays down. Summertime like Trout Fest Cinco. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so what else can we say about Kalani,
A lot.
since we're talking about her?
Should I talk about our fitness that we did today, or no? Or should we do that in a different part of the show? I go right into it?
We'll get to that in a second.
Oh, okay.
It's
Move on to
not your
cardio party.
podcast. It's my podcast now. Told you didn't want me here. I was trying to take over.
You're the guest.
Yeah, I'm the guest.
Special guest.
So I said Kalani will be 5 months old in about a week.
Oh, shit.
She was 13 pounds and 12 ounces, I think, a week ago. She had a public health appointment.
That's without a wet diaper.
And, so yeah, she's doing really well. She's wearing some 6-month clothing now. she can get away with that. So that's pretty cool, I guess. I don't know. She's growing so fast. And we mentioned some things that she likes. Other things that she likes are that I find so cute when she's like playing with her hands, but she's like playing with her feet and trying to eat her feet. And her cousin Isabella is doing that as well. So we actually recently they started to take notice of each other and what they did. And I believe we have a photo of it on St. Patty's Day that maybe you would like to show.
They held hands?
That's pretty cute. Well, okay, so there was one day when they were, or a couple days, they were like holding hands, and also trying to eat each other's hands.
Here's them at St. Patty's Day. And
at St. Patty's Day, we did a photo shoot. We're trying to do that for all their first holidays, and also with our friend Krista's baby Paula as well, because she's like less than 24 hours older than or younger than Kalani. So we're trying to get the three babies together or have photos that we put together.
And
so yeah, and so the St. Patty's Day one.
Not yet. I'll show the picture of them holding hands. All right, go. Podcast magic. Okay, go.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, the St. Patty's Day one is Bella is actually biting or sucking on Kalani's foot, like she got her foot in her mouth. So that was really cute and funny as well. So what else does Miss Kalani like? Just putting everything in her mouth. She has like teething toys. Like she has this little slice of pizza, and she actually can eat it.
Well,
like a slice, like a real slice of pizza. She picks it up and puts it in her mouth the way you would eat pizza.
Yeah.
No, but it's like
a good teether.
How you would eat pizza. Like she puts it in her mouth the right way. So, so that's pretty cool.
She also plays the trumpet the right way.
Yes, today she was playing the trumpet. She was like opening her mouth for the mouthpiece on this like little kid's toy trumpet thing. And what else does she do that's new? She laughed for the first time in the past month.
Smiling a lot
sleeping, more. Yeah, she started sleeping in her crib and sleeping through the night. Don't know how long it'll last, but the past couple weeks she's been doing pretty well with that. Except Erin really worries. She gets in the crib and she like rolls on her stomach, which you're told don't let them sleep on their stomach, right? And you can't use those bumper pad things anymore because they could be like a suffocation hazard.
So it's going through the bars. So they say you put a sleep sack on her butt.
Yeah, so her arms and legs are going through the bars and she's waking up and you have to go and fix her and get her back to sleep. So apparently a sleep sack is the solution, but we haven't.
And then when she's asleep and still, I'm like, is she okay? She's too still.
So yeah, we're still getting used to the crib sleeping, but it's been pretty good. Unfortunately, things that she seems to dislike a lot lately are daytime naps. She tries to like avoid them. It's like she's so nosy. She doesn't want to miss a thing. And bottles, all of a sudden.
Yeah, last month she took it, and this month she's like,
nope, doesn't want a bottle unless sometimes she'll take a bottle from me, but not from anyone else. So that kind of sucks for me. But yeah, she's a pretty good baby.
Do you want to talk about movies and shows next, or do you want to keep?
Tell them about your exercising.
Oh, so now we're talking about me and the baby and exercising.
Okay, now you can talk.
To continue on about fitness, fabulous fit father. I don't know what I'm saying.
Fabulous fit father.
The whole reason that I did this 3-month program, besides my sister wanting to do the challenge with me, is become a stronger father for my daughter and keep fit and keep up and play catch with her. No, when she gets older, she'll play catch. But she's rolling over there in the bed now. But yeah, she's my new fitness trainer, and our friend, I guess we could say her name, April.
Yeah.
Order some gear, a nice headband.
Thanks, April.
Boop, boop. Dumbbell, a little shake and everything. So
it's really cute.
Instead of me talking about this, I could talk about my fitness practice, and I'll show a little video. Want me to do that?
Show the video, the workout video?
Oh, it was stressful. This was supposed to be a dynamic recovery day, Sunday, but no, she had me lifting weights just like she was. She's like,
Yeah.
watch my form. So here we go. Show the video. 3, 2, 1, roll it. Even though it's a Sunday dynamic recovery day, we got my weight trainer here working me hot bone. I gotta keep up with it, you know what I'm saying? Okay, Kalani, we trained for this day. Are you ready? Let's do this. And 1. Yep, hold that leg up. Yep, hold it, hold it, hold it. Keep that strength, keep that core hard. Keep it going. Hold that weight. Oh, yeah, 1 hand. Oh, my goodness, 1 hand lift. Whoa. Strongest baby in the world. Oh, let me take that. Oh, yeah. We're going to do 100 pounds. Can we do it? Kettlebell lift. You ready? 2-handed, 1 leg up. Oh my goodness, she's so strong! Oh, over the head throw. Yeah! Always, guys, you gotta hydrate. You gotta recover. Here you go, my baby. Shake time. Get your protein in. Get that protein in. Yeah! Woo! Whoa! I know you're getting tired. All these workouts. We got 1 more rep in this. You ready? 1 more rep. Ready? Let's go. Lift, lift, lift it. Come on, you can do it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, super strong. Yeah. And that's over. Okay. I'm going to put it in. It's Facebook magic.
Yeah,
Facebook
I know.
past
I
podcast
understand. I
magic.
have seen your podcast before.
So, moving on. Do you want to talk about movies and shows?
Or with your, you could talk more about your program, like
The food.
The food.
And portioning. Okay, we can go. We can talk more about it.
yeah. So there's the exercise, the daily exercise part, which I have not been partaking in because I don't want to.
But Kalani has. She got that.
But Kalani has been
And they
there
only-
with you a couple times.
They
So
only
she
range
hasn't-
from 25 to 35 minutes. Now, some of them steady go, 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 go. So it doesn't seem like a long time, but
Yeah.
especially with those bod ropes.
So there's also the food portion, right?
Yeah.
Because it's about
I'm doing the vegan 21-day fix portioning, and there is containers I showed in the last podcast. No, it was the one with my sister's 2 podcasts ago. And it's different colors and different sizes, and they give you the equivalent amount of how many calories you're going to burn and how much you have now by the weight you are, and so on and so on. I won't talk about the calculation. But it is so much for protein, vegetables, and carbs and fruit and oils you're allowed to get in. And me, I got to watch my carb intake because I love carbs. I love eating corn, potatoes,
doesn't?
rice, chips, and everything. But yeah, I got to keep my veggies and fruit up. So lately I've been cooking mostly vegan and some vegetarian things for you as well. And for
because I
plant
love dairy and I'm not willing to. Well, I also love beef, chicken,
I'm like, here's some vegan chili. She's like,
bacon.
can you put some cheese on top of that?
But more than that, yeah, I love dairy, like cheese, eggs, cream, butter. Although the vegan butter, margarine, or whatever,
Same,
is
really.
pretty. Yeah, it's really
The
good.
B-cell stuff, like one says plant-based, but you gotta be careful because it does have milk products in it. The one that actually says vegan on it, it tastes like regular margarine. You can get different like Earth brand ones. It's pretty good. So lately I've been cooking some vegan foods for you, and you seem to be liking them. And you also cook some for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of fun, like, trying out new recipes. So.
where you eat like eggs and dairy and stuff. So I had these eggs I ordered online. I can't get much here in town, but I got the egg replacement. So I had like a vegan French toast. I've been making vegan waffles for you
and it's like some of the best waffles, and especially the French toast has been really good too. Like, I keep asking for it over and over again. And I feel bad eating your egg substitute alternative things. I could have real eggs in mine, but like, it's still really good.
Another egg substitute you can use if you don't have that powder is tofu. So I've been making tofu scrambled breakfast sandwich. You've been eating them.
Oh,
oh really? It sounds fascinating. But yeah, that tofu scramble, that was egg-like substance.
Yeah, like, I didn't even miss I was kind of skeptical at first before I tried it, but this tofu breakfast scramble, I didn't even miss the egg in it, It was just like this, basically tofu was cooked like eggs, right? Like scrambled eggs. And
I see here you got soup there, butternut squash soup, and it's hard to get a creamy soup when you're vegan, but you can use alternatives like butternut and squash gets really thick, or you can use a coconut or a vegan yogurt as well, thicken it up a little bit if you want. Same thing with a curry. So we made you made granola bites and energy balls. Let's talk about that. They're vegan.
They're vegan treats,
peanut butter balls,
I guess. They're kind of like treats, but you gotta have some treats too. So I made some treats for Aaron, and then I think I ate every bit of granola myself though, because I've been loving like yogurt and granola.
Oatmeal too. We've been making a lot lately, but oatmeal's really good for you in the morning, and a little bit of
homemade oatmeal. Cinnamon. You make really good homemade oatmeal. And the other thing I made for you was the lentil balls. They're a lot like falafels. Really, yeah,
Mediterranean.
They were pretty good too. And
the only thing you didn't like was the eggplant. We made a chickpea casserole.
Chickpea eggplant.
Yeah, eggplant.
With like a tomato-based sauce or something. But yeah, I'm just not a big fan of eggplant. So. Oh.
It changed.
When that happened. And what else? Last night we together made some like roasted vegetables and some pasta, and we made a homemade chimichurri sauce and covered them in that, and that was really good as well. I think it's the first time I've ever had chimichurri sauce, and I am a fan.
And I was trying to say it, chimichurri. I was like, cheesecakes? What's that?
Yeah, you're like, cheesecakes? I'm like, no, that's a dessert, a delicious non-vegan dessert that you get at Jungle Gyms.
And keep on going.
It's always something.
Camera malfunction. Hopefully this still works.
Yeah. There was like a stuffed sweet potato dish, which I was skeptical about, but it was really good. It had like tomatoes.
Chickpeas as well in there.
Chickpeas. Love chickpeas. You do so much with chickpeas. Like, it kind of irritates me. I'm not even a vegetarian, and it kind of irritates me, people's ignorance. I'm sorry, but a lot of people, and I was probably like it once too, say, like, what can you feed a vegetarian? Like, what can you eat? And there's, like, and people can't think of anything. And,
the main thing is if you season it right and marinate it right, and that's what you do. That's what you do with a piece of meat anyway. You're putting seasoning on it to make it taste good, and all the spices and stuff. So you do the same thing what you would with the meat alternative, or you can do it with vegetables as well, especially on the grill.
Yeah.
In summertime, I love grilling up some corn, and we had some corn today with our beans and rice and stuff. A little, not so much Mexican dish, but it was good.
Yeah. So even as a meat eater, I've really been enjoying. Hardly having any meat at all for the past 2 weeks. Has it been?
Ground beef on the I'm not sure.
I had like a little bit of ground beef and bacon. But yeah.
Cutting down on it.
But yeah, cutting down. So like that's a bit better, right? Like I could do worse.
Last thing on the list says vegan ranch and carrots. So we had some carrots. You ever have carrots before here, boys? Carrots. They're vegan. Did you know? Carrots?
I didn't know that you can get like anything vegan, like from butter to vegan ranch dressing, and Caesar dressing, right? Like for Caesar salad.
I got really upset and frustrated today with my waffle machine, and I ruined one batter thing. The waffles I ordered online, they're vegan. And I was like, wait a minute, I can make this at home. So I made a couple for you, and they weren't half bad, were they?
No, they were good.
A little bit of raspberries on top and some whipped cream. So,
I like making homemade waffles as well, but he doesn't like them because he says they're too eggy.
I don't like eating eggs.
So
I don't eat them.
So usually he does most of the cooking.
Yeah. And speaking of cooking,
yeah,
in the next month or so, I'll be doing Cooking with Coombs. And another question for you about Cooking with Coombs. Is there any certain thing you'd like to see me cook on the show or at home? You have the privilege to have the chef here. Oh, everything. I don't know. Everything?
The only things that you don't cook...
Just eggplant all day.
Not eggplant, okay? Nothing with eggplant. And the only other things that you don't cook very well...
Here it comes.
Are things that are meant to be really cheesy, like mac and cheese or nachos covered in cheese.
Well,
I like those things.
I'll do
very
a layer
cheesy.
and butter. I do a layer,
and
I'll put the chips on, and I'll do another layer for you. And she's like, "There's no cheese on this." I was like, "That's the whole block gone short." You're like,
"Yeah,
get 2.5 then."
Now,
or if there's butter, I put butter on your potato today and corn, and you're like, "Where's the butter?" I'm like,
"Yeah,
I smothered it already on it." She's like, I want the butter. I'm like,
you don't smother things with enough dairy for my liking. But anyways, don't be trying to cut back on my dairy.
Dairy is scary. All right.
But you did make a good vegan mac and cheese for a work potluck once. People really liked it.
That was... I'm not going to give the recipe exactly, but there was
cashews,
nutritional yeast, there's garlic, and there's... The main thing to thicken it up was the carrot and potato. So, carrot and potato cheese, different.
I know you don't like to give away your secrets,
that's
your recipes,
but
that's something that you could make. I would like to see make on the show.
Cooking with Coombs, on Cooking with Coombs, I will give away some secret recipes.
Okay.
Not just giveaways of this mindset book for whoever votes. Mom bod or blah blah blah. Or
you can't say it.
Dad bod or mom bod.
There you go. But other things I'd like to see you cook. To answer your question, you do really good vegetarian chili dishes. Chili dish. Well, yes, chili, but I meant to say curry. So chili or curry. There's also a twice baked potato, like a vegan twice baked potato that's really good. Even without the cheese, although sometimes I add the cheese, but it's made with like tofu. It sounded funny how I said that.
Tofu.
Tofu.
Is
that the word?
What? Tofu. What do you mean?
I'm like having a brain fart or something. Like, is it called tofu?
This is brought to you by tofu.
And then there's like this pasta dish, this penne with roasted red pepper sauce. It's like red peppers and tofu blended together, and it's really good though. Like, tofu's pretty good, guys. If you haven't tried it, I suggest you try it.
If you want to see some of these recipes, not recipes, but the pictures of food, I have the Cardio Coombs Cafe podcast on Facebook, also the merchandise shop, podcast shop. But there's one more that says Cardio Coombs Cafe, just Cardio Coombs Cafe on Facebook. You'll see like a red logo. That'll be some of the vegan dishes I've made in the past, and that red pasta one will be there if you want to check it out. But if next month or so, hopefully next month, I'll be doing a cooking show, and I'll show you some good stuff.
So
plant-based.
Yeah. So what are some so you have your podcast. What are some podcasts that you like to watch?
Well, the one that got me into podcasts, but
I watch it with you.
There's a lot of red tape with it. He's funny. Yeah. It's Chris D'Elia in his Congratulations at a podcast, but lately he's been, he only came out of the shadows lately. He did his apology podcast, and he's been, I think, the third one so far since he's been back.
What was it he was accused with?
He's still being accused, so there's still some things going on with either underage girls or just
like having
pictures,
inappropriate relationships, and
he said he's done no illegal activities, so I can't say anything good or bad right now, but
You're
still
thinking innocent until proven guilty?
Yeah, I still like his podcasts and stuff. So, just like I watched Bill Cosby's show back in the past before you knew stuff about Bill Cosby. Like,
it's really hard when you.
But it's nothing like Bill Cosby anyway. But just saying.
Yeah.
You
I
can
know
like
you really
someone
want to believe in his innocence, and I do as well. Like, you know, because he's funny, and just because you don't want to believe
and a new father as
that
well,
someone has done something so awful, you know, and obviously it happens. We know.
And another podcast I've been watching was Abba and Preach, and they did a video on his apology and stuff, and how they felt about it, and I just like their podcast because they seem very intelligent about the way they conduct themselves, and funny podcasts is Mythical Morning, and I think you've seen some of them with me.
I'm not sure what's it about.
Rit and Link. There's two guys.
Oh yeah.
You
Are
saw
they
the
vegan or vegetarian?
No. But
no,
there was an episode though where they tried vegan
okay.
meats. That's the one you saw. And they had shows in like the early 2006, 2007. That's what you've seen too. Them dressed up back in the old pop collar and the hair and everything. But yeah,
that could be a fun idea for your podcast, to get your meat eating siblings and wife, or whoever on your podcast and get us to like do a blind taste test of different vegan products and try to guess what it's supposed to be.
What is this? I play a game of what is this? But also a play on of what we did a couple podcasts back of eating the hot sauces, and you guys had chicken wings and I had the so-called vegan wings. That was off another thing called Hot Ones. So that show is about, he gets celebrities, and I was like, but I have these fellows, my siblings and wife.
Just as good.
And like I said, Mythical Morning are funny guys, and they usually try out different things, different food, different topics, and just they're funny. And I recommend it. And everybody watches Joe Rogan podcast, so that's like one of the biggest ones ever. So and what's he on? Yeah,
I'm not really into watching podcasts.
I'm not really into this, but carry on.
No, I like the idea of it. I just don't really.
The reason why I chose to do
podcasts.
This one though is to be more outspoken. I know to friends I'm like always talking, I'm always hyper, but like
sometimes
I'm not publicly able to speak. Like when growing up, even to like my nan and pop growing up, I'm always shy with them, and I'm just shy with people I don't know. So this is me talking to you guys, my supporters and my followers. So I want to thank you guys. Without you, I wouldn't be talking. I'd be just talking into a mirror.
Or to your wife, hopefully.
Or to my wife over here. Yeah.
You're not a big talker, though. Mm-hmm. Really, like.
He moves his mouth, but not a lot comes out of there, right? So, when I'm not talking, we could talk about other things that we do that's not talking, and we're looking, and what are those things? That's movies and shows.
We've been watching a lot of movies and TV shows, because of course we have like the Netflix, the Amazon Prime, the Crave TV, the Disney Plus, cable. We have it all, right?
Basketball,
that comes on cable.
Oh, yeah. I also got it on app though.
We'll talk about that after.
We'll talk about sports after. That's a whole other topic.
But yeah, movies and TV shows. What have we watched lately? I think the last movie we watched is not a new movie, but a movie called Marshall came out in 2017. It's on Netflix.
Is that old?
I think it may have only recently been added to Netflix, but yeah, it came out in 2017 apparently. And if you haven't seen it or heard of it, it's try not to give out spoilers, but it's about an American biographical legal drama film directed by Reginald Hudlin and written by Michael and Jacob Koskoff, and it stars Chadwick Boseman, is it?
Yeah, he's the Black Panther.
He's known, I guess, by a lot of people as the actor who played the Black Panther, and unfortunately has recently, last year he passed away. Cancer, wasn't it? Mm. Yeah, so pretty sad. Very sad. He was a really good actor, I think, and I enjoyed him in this film. He was believable as the playing Thurgood, I believe, Marshall.
And it is based on a true story.
Yeah, and he was the first African American Supreme Court justice. And so this was back when he was, I think it was like in the
40s.
a lawyer in the 1940s in the U.S. It was the state of Connecticut versus Joseph Spell, who was a black man accused of raping a white woman.
And even to kill.
So yeah, again, that's, you know, my kind of movie. I think I was the one who picked it out, and good husband that he is, said, whatever you want to watch, dear.
Well, I like old-fashioned things.
Yeah.
In movies. I got the old typewriter and the old rotary phone. I used to watch a lot of Peaky Blinders. It was based on the olden days, but
yeah,
hopefully more comes out. Another movie we watched
and another movie we watched,
Becky.
Becky, and that's on Amazon Prime. That's a new movie, came out in 2020, an American action thriller film directed by Jonathan Millett and Carrie Murnion, from a screenplay by Nick Morris, Lane Skye, and Ruckus Skye. And it stars Lulu Wilson. I think she's only like a 15-year-old girl. I think she's fairly new. I'm not really familiar with her.
We won't give out too much of the information of the movie, but she was kick-ass.
She was really, it was really cool to see a young, kick-ass, vengeful female. Like, I felt her anger. I was like, you go, girl. You do that. And Kevin James and Joel...
A fun-loving father was not so much a fun-loving father in this one.
Yeah, Kevin James. It was kind of weird to see him. He's usually like, you know, this big funny guy, and he played the main bad guy, I guess, in this film. But I think he played the role well. Like, I was able to believe it. And Joel McHale, another, you know, funny actor guy, did have a role in the movie as well as the girl's father.
You thought it had like a on-roll, kind of like a Home Alone kind of thing. Too.
Yeah, it was kind of like,
Gory.
what was it we said, like a adult version of Home Alone. Like, you wouldn't let kids watch this movie because it was actually really gory, which was pretty cool, but a little gross, but, you know, like not too scary or anything. More of like a, I guess, action thriller, it's labeled as. Got 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. Basically, a teenager, there's a teenage girl and her father. They go to a lake house with the father's partner and son, and a group of convicts basically break into their lake house, and yeah.
So you're into murder and crime, and
Yes.
the next three movies that I'm more into, more action but heroic. We watched WandaVision on Disney, and the first ones I find are a bit cheesy. Well, it is a bit cheesy. It's more like sitcom. And then there's a new show out now, which is only 2 episodes, I believe, as of now, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And another long movie I've seen, but it was the original cut of Justice League by Snyder's cut, which was a really good movie, way better than the original. And Jared Leto was only there for a little bit, but he did a good part as Joker, I believe. Oh,
Yeah,
are we gonna
so,
move on to that? Are we?
Not yet. When you're ready.
Oh, excuse me, sir, but when you're ready, Phil.
You have an itinerary?
I have an itinerary. Okay, if you don't know my wife, we went down south many times on many cruises, and she'd have an itinerary. I said, okay, we get off
just
here,
making sure we don't
sleep
forget
here, we go
anything.
here. Love, when do I get the shit? When do we get to go to the bathroom? She didn't write that down, huh? Oh my. But yeah, there's your itinerary.
Well, I miss traveling in my travel itineraries.
The worst thing about an itinerary is you got crammed so much in one short time, and we had a side-by-side and our phone died, which was our GPS. And then we ended up getting not finding where we had to drop the side-by-side back. So we're like, let's just leave it at the gas station and run to the boat right quick. And we called the guys, and they're like, yeah, we had to leave it at the gas station. Like, oh, that's normal. People do it all the time. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. Alright, that was a tangent. Alright.
But you know, you have to have these adventures, like these mishaps when you travel. Like, you know, as long as no one's really hurt or you don't really miss the cruise ship, it's kind of fun to have the tales afterwards. Even though I was like, I'm pretty sure we were like cursing and I was maybe crying and freaking out at the time. And
if you don't get a scar or an element during the down south, I got a erupted eardrum, and swimming with the turtles, I got a scar on my hand. I'm
don't
blaming
blame the turtles.
It could have been a ladder. It could have been some coral reef. I don't know. I think it was a turtle, though, man. Turtle.
Oh my god, I miss traveling so much. When and where are we gonna travel again?
We're going to go all the way to Bottle Cove.
Do you think
Newfoundland?
Well, yeah, like do some staycations, especially the summer, and take Kalani around to see different parts of the province, I guess. But and go to St. John's to visit friends and family, of course, and Corner Brook to visit your family. But yeah, like, I mean, international travel.
I'd like to go Hawaii.
Or even national.
But
yeah.
I think we spoke about this before, have we?
Probably. It comes up. But when do you think? Or do you think like by this time next year? Although we'll have like a 1-year-old.
Yeah,
so I don't know. Like, do we travel with the 1-year-old? Do we leave her? Would we miss her too much? Would that be too hard? I don't even know. But like, I can't imagine going another year without traveling somewhere international. Like, assuming we're able to travel next year.
Don't hit the table,
which
please. Vibrates.
There was an accident. Yeah. So hopefully.
And do you want to speak about, besides that, sports? Do you want to talk about sports?
Sure.
Let's talk about sports. Sports.
Talk about sports.
All right.
I mean, we're not
What?
I was gonna say ESPN.
Not sports.
That's not even what it is it?
What?
ESPN.
I don't got GSP by.
We're not Sportsnet or Sports Center or whatever, but we do what you do. But it's Toronto Raptors basketball.
They had a very difficult season lately, and they had some big changes. Do you want to talk about it, or should I talk about it? You talk about it. You talk about it. You got some centenary over here. You got a centenary. But my boy, let's just say my boy Larry's still there. They've been asking a lot of money for him, though, and he's staying. Might see him leave within the next, when his contract's over, but I don't want to see my boy leave.
Which might be at the end of the season.
I don't want to see him.
Which could be very soon.
But he said that he would retire as a Raptor, so even that means going a day under a contract. But I still don't want to see him leave. But there's been changes, and we do got to rebuild the team. So to go on with the changes, let's talk about it.
It's really sad because, that was a great championship team just, like 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, and, first Kawhi Leonard left, okay, you kind of expect that.
Ibaka.
And then it just, kept going from there. I mean, this season, Serge Ibaka didn't come back. I was a huge fan of him. He was a great big guy. Marc Gasol, less a fan of him, but, still, he was a big guy. Then they were left without a big man, really. Without a decent big man. And still are.
Sorry, Aaron.
And, and then with the trade deadline earlier this week, I know we were really sad to see Norm Powell go.
That was a big hit. Yeah.
He's spent his entire career, which started in 2015, with the Raptors. So this was like his first trade, and he's gone to the Portland Trailblazers, who the Raptors are playing tonight, actually. So it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, they do.
How that goes, right? Because he was traded for 2 players.
Hood and
from the Portland Trailblazers. So it'll be interesting to see how they turn out. I don't think that they live up to what Norm Powell was doing, but I think the hope is like one of the players is this young guy, what's his name? Gary Trent Jr. He's in his third season. He was a second round pick, draft pick. And I think they're really hoping to develop him as a player. But yeah, basically they were too cheap to keep Norm Powell.
And Rodney Hood was the second round.
Yeah, and they got this other, an older player, Rodney Hood, as well.
We also got rid of two other fellows. We got rid of
yes, Matt Thomas, who was like their 3-point shooter, bench player, and another bench player, Terrence Davis, who started it with Toronto in his rookie year last year, I believe. So, I mean, I don't know if the trade with him had anything to do with... I haven't read so much about why those two were traded. There's not, I guess, as many headlines about it as with Norm Powell. They weren't as big of players, but, I thought Davis in particular, was pretty decent. Like, he could play a good game, when he played, but...
getting some McDonald's fries.
I don't know if the allegations, even though they were dropped, there were allegations last year of him abusing a woman in a hotel in New York. So that was, that couldn't have been easy for him or for the team, having him around, and you're, wondering, like, did he do this? Did he not do this? And, yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. But, so a lot of players are gone. There's a few new players this season, and as recently as just a couple of nights ago. Gary Trent Jr., now there's high hopes for him. He got 8 points in his first game as a Raptor. Keeping in mind that was he's still a fairly young player. That was his first game with the Raptors. He was traded like less than 24 hours before that.
Quick, get a jersey.
It happened really fast, so I guess we'll have to see how he does.
I don't see them being in the playoffs, but they can rebuild and hopefully work.
I don't want to give a hope, but yeah, like they're in 11th. Right now in the East, so you have to be like top 8 to be in the playoffs. But yeah, it's pretty close between some of the teams there in the East.
But they're not doing so hot as of this home roasted coffee at Cardio Coons Cafe. All right, itinerary time.
So
we talked about all this. We don't need to talk about
I know. Yeah, we've
activities, do we?
Nope.
Don't want to talk about that?
Nope.
You just want to move on to this?
Yeah.
You want to interject this? You want to take a part of your itinerary out?
Is there... No. Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
We could talk about birthdays. We'll start off by you saying the first one. Happy birthday to...
Yeah, I want to say happy birthday to my good friend. Liz Laidley. Her birthday was on March 26th. So just a couple of days ago now.
And I'll say happy birthday or upcoming birthday this March 30th to a guy I sort of kind of know, aka... Desmond Coombs, my father. I really know. So, happy birthday, Daddy.
And
who's what? There's
also,
one more?
What? Our cat. Our trash cat, Ash.
What trash cat, Ashy?
Found him eating my trash.
Years ago,
7 years ago now, 7 years ago this month, and we estimated him, or the vet estimated that he was about 2 years old then. So I'm saying happy 9th birthday to Ashy Cat. who just had a vet checkup last week, and I'm happy to report that he's doing pretty well.
He lost a tooth. But that's
Yeah,
okay.
he lost a tooth.
I was like, I could tie this around a necklace and that'd be like a shark tooth, right?
yeah.
Poor guy.
And finally, last but not least, your host.
Your hostess with the
Okay.
mostest. Keep it coming.
Oh, yes, sorry.
This
Your
amazing-
handsome,
You shouldn't have.
silly, funny, wonderful
Tall.
host with the most.
Yeah.
Aaron will be celebrating his birthday on April 11th. I know that's a couple weeks away, but he will be
Celebrated it offshore. Woohoo! On the boat. Woohoo!
he will be working. So
Man.
I am going to plan something for his birthday sometime this week. And I don't mean like a big party or anything, so don't
Because
worry.
I have to isolate in this household.
Yes. But I will do something special for
Like
Aaron
the
for his
dishes.
birthday.
She's been doing the dishes
I'll
lately.
do the dishes.
I do the dishes too, but not as much as you wish I would. And when I do the dishes, I put the dishes the wrong way in the rack. Can every other man say they do that too? There's so many wrong
I
ways
could
to
be
do
worse.
something, isn't there?
I could be worse. Some women are worse about, like, you didn't do that right. Like, I'm pretty appreciative. Maybe.
Maybe.
I try to be
No, you are. I love
of
you.
things you do. Love you too. So,
Yeah, so. That's
happy early birthday.
Woo woo, I'm old as fuck. I'll be
I won't say how old,
Oh,
just in case you're like,
I'll be as a rape age of. I'll be 33. Thank
that's not too bad.
you. No.
It's not too old.
I'll be 29. No. Yeah, so that concludes our birthday greetings. I made some little short videos that will be put on there. And this looks like your
I
itinerary
think
is
that was
complete.
it. Yeah.
I want to know if I'm done with mine. We did our.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're done. Yeah, We did our books, we did our shows, we did our sports. We're done. We talked about Parenthood, we talked about Kalani. So yeah, here's one more picture of Kalani just first. Because we can. There she is. Look how cute she is. Alright. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. Mostly, I like to thank this beautiful woman. Thanks for tuning on in. Thanks for being my host. Co-host. Guest.
Although
All of the above.
I did take over quite a bit.
That's alright. That's what being a wife is. No.
I'm the boss. We know.
No.
We all know that I'm the boss.
The boss is here. This is our
That's
baby
true.
monitor.
She kind of is the boss now.
Yeah. And we love her.
Although I told her tonight, no, I said, you're going to sleep now.
She should.
Not picking you up.
So I had to pick her up.
I think you only picked her up once after that,
Yeah.
though.
Listen to some Justin Bieber and she's good to go. Alright. So yeah, guys, thanks for tuning on in to episode 7 of season 2. This is Cardio Coombs Cafe Podcast. Thank you, Laura. And
Thanks for having me.
stay tuned, stay happy, and stay healthy. Bye for now.